Hi everybody, it's me again, the J Beaster. What is that? Huh, it's always been there. It's a mole. Anyway, I'm here doing deer chores. Check it out. So, as you can see, I have got the fire break mode, and this really green looking stuff right here is the clover patch. It actually came back. That's Landino or Landina clover, and it actually reseeded itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Roundup in a 3-gallon sprayer, and I'm going to spray all these places that are not green, all down the side and all that stuff, all the way past the old feeder there. Which, by the way, in case you're wondering, the squirrels and the raccoons have won. I have lost the war. They won. The damnables own the day and the feeder. Sons of bitches. So I'm going to extend, the plan is to extend the clover patch to about half of the fire break, and then the other half way down there, when it gets closer to July and August, I'm going to spray it 3 times with Roundup, and to make sure I get everything good and dead on the top layer of the seed bank in the soil, and that way I'll have good dirt to seed contact when I spread the winter rye. So I'm going to actually extend that spot too. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little spot right there at the end of my finger that's kind of lighter right in there than the rest of it. That's where the winter rye was, and it did well. It just wasn't very good. I mean, it wasn't very big. It wasn't very big, but it did great. So I'm going to extend this by spraying everywhere I want clover. I'm going to spray it once today with Roundup, 41% glyphosate. I'm going to spread my seed. Let's see what we got here. I've got my my seed spreader, and I've got 2 bags of coated Landino clover. Let's see, what's the weight on these? Probably 5 pounds, so I've got 10 pounds. It doesn't sound like a lot, and really it's not, but it's a good start. I'll probably reseed it again before the fall. So that's what I'm going to do, though. I'm just going to get everything sprayed with the Roundup, and then plant that 10 pounds of seed and see what happens. Here we go. So I was just finishing up my spraying here, and I was looking over here at a plant and thinking about spraying this, and I stopped real quick, and I'm glad I did, because I think that is a wild rose bush, and one of them is starting to bloom just ever so slightly, man. Come on, focus, man. You can barely see the pink in it, but that's a wild rose bush, man. I'm gonna leave that one alone. That's cool. That's real cool. Yeah. Okay, so now it's all sprayed. I've got a three gallon sprayer, and that took me, half an acre. I took my time. I basically sprayed everything twice, and so, about 30 minutes maybe, something like that. So this is stuff that you can do without a whole lot of equipment at all. So I'm fixing to put down my seed. Here we go. This Green Hunter's Pride game plot mix, the only reason I use it, I don't know if it's any better or any worse than any other brand, but it's a pretty clean seed with not a whole lot of debris. I've used their turnips, I've used their clover, and a couple other things, and it's just what my local co-op carries, so it's not bad. I think it's $9.99 for this. They've got crimson clover, and they've got another kind of clover. I forget what like yellow clover, but this is the only one that's a perennial. And it will come back, as evidenced by that little plot there. So here we go. Alrighty, so let's look at our finished product real quick. Let's pick a bare dirt spot over here somewhere. And if you look real close, all those little tiny grayish looking seeds are clover. So the 10 pounds I had didn't really seem like a lot, but clover seed is small and it goes a long way. So I've got all of that now done, from the hickory tree past the feeder all the way back this way. I've reseeded what was already established, and I've seeded pretty thick all the rest of this stuff that was not established. So that's something that a guy or a gal, an adult or a kid, a teenager or something, can do with very little equipment, very little money, and a little bit of time and effort. And it does pay off. It really does pay off. That's it. That's my way of doing no-till. Clover is pretty easy to establish, like we've talked about, and it actually will kind of take over an area once it gets established. If you keep it mowed, it just takes over. as long as there's not a drought, it should be fine. The winter rye, that formula for no-till I actually got from Jeff Sturgis from Whitetail Properties? Something. He's famous. Y'all know who I'm talking about, Jeff Sturgis. Anyway, he sprays a little spot like that 3 times to make sure that everything that can be killed is going to get killed out before he puts his winter rye down. And it worked last year really good, and I'm hoping that it'll work this year. So a little bit of time, a little bit of money, a little bit of effort, and God's smiling on you, and everything should be just fine. So until next time, bye.